previously thought that Hawaii was just sandy beaches and resorts and so on, and I was so amazed to find this large mountainous interior with canyons and special forests that exist nowhere else in the world. I'm the program coordinator for the Koke'e Resource Conservation Program.
Located in northwestern Kauai, 15 miles up the windy and steep Waimea Canyon Drive, you will find a different Hawaii than the one you think you know. A Hawaii far removed from the sandy beaches and oceanfront views. A Hawaii deep in the heart of a mountain and deep in the heart of its people. It is here at the 15-mile marker you find the beginnings of a truly unique paradise. It is here you find Koke'e State Park.
Well, I had worked for the Koke'e Natural History Museum for 4 years, and they had a volunteer training series for volunteer hike guides and so on, and we would go on guided hikes, and they would talk about what's happening in the forest, and one of the things that was happening was the invasive species were taking over. And the head of state parks, Wayne Souza, would have a service project where we go and pull weeds in the forest, and everyone seemed to enjoy it, and so I thought there should be a framework for people to plug into that anytime, and so I took a grant writing workshop and got the first grant that I wrote, and so started the program.
Invasive weeds are simply plants that have been introduced from other areas that have no natural predators in their new location. They have the ability to thrive in areas other plants are challenged and have a high capacity to reproduce. Sometimes these plants have been imported from other areas as crops or ornamentals, or their seeds have been dispersed through the wind or by animals. This has become a huge problem for island ecosystems.
Well, the ecosystems on an island are more fragile than the mainland ones. They're more susceptible to degradation and population pressures and so on. And plus you have this huge numbers of plants that evolved here in isolation that exist nowhere else in the world. They're endemic, and so there's more at stake.
In many areas of Koke'e, the native forest and its ecosystems are being completely destroyed by the infiltration and complete takeover of weeds. Although there are many different invading species, the Nature Conservancy decided to focus on only 3 particularly invasive ones, these being Kahili ginger, strawberry guava, and the Australian tree fern. Despite the fragility of Kauai's environments, there are a few other factors that have lent a helping hand to the invasives.
Well, there's factors like the hurricanes certainly made the situation a lot more friendly to the invasive weeds, because it just knocked down a lot of the big trees in the forest, and all these light gaps, the invasives could jump in easier because the natives are slower to grow. And so that's one factor. There's factors in the plants themselves. The strawberry guava in particular is allelopathic. It puts out a toxin against other plants, and so nothing else grows under it. Once it gets to be a thicket of guava, you have nothing else. And also if they grow in shade, that makes the weed worse. If it can grow in dense shade, and if birds spread it, they can drop the seeds, and you can have a total full canopy, perfect native forest, and the birds will spread those seeds in there, they'll start growing, and they'll displace the natives.
The invasive strawberry guava was introduced to Kauai in 1825 from Brazil. It was brought here for its fruit. The toxins that it releases stops the germination of other seeds, so it literally kills everything that grows around it, while it forms a large single-species stand of trees. It can grow 6 to 20 feet tall and with its glossy green leaves, completely shade out an area. The wild pigs in Kauai, also an introduced invasive species, eat the guava fruit and then spread the seeds to new areas. It is not uncommon to find a tiny stand of seedlings on pig trails where the seeds have germinated in the pig's waste.